The moral argument is one of those arguments that I've never heard an atheist refute. They may respond to the argument. You may hear words coming out of their mouths as a response to the argument, but what you will not hear is a answer or a true rebuttal to the moral argument. It's one of those nuclear bomb arguments for Christians. It's, in my opinion, it remains one of the strongest, irrefutable arguments for God. Check out this Frank Turek video where he debates an atheist, and he's just dumbfounded, stumped, if you will, by the moral argument. Let's get right into it.
Morality requires some higher objective to come from. God's the last thing it should come from. God
should.
Morality,
wait. You're using the word should. That's a moral term. Where'd you get that from?
The English language.
Okay, but what do you mean? You used it in a way that it was immoral if it came from God. How are you coming up with this standard that it should come from something other than God? Why?
Because morality should not come from God, because in the Bible, God clearly endorses and condones slavery, murder, and rape. He does. And all I need to do to support that is quote Leviticus 25. However, you may purchase male or female slaves among the foreigners who live among you.
Okay.
I mean, why should morality come from God when he endorses slavery, murder, and rape clearly in the Bible?
First of all, is there something wrong with slavery, murder, and rape?
Yes, there is.
Why?
Because it sucks for the people that you're raping or enslaving or murdering.
But it might be fun for the people who are doing it.
Notice the laughter. Obviously, murder and rape are wrong. They are wrong. But the most common objection I always hear to that type of argumentation is we won't do that because we wouldn't want those things done to ourselves. Nobody who's experiencing those things are enjoying those things. Absolutely. But what they don't ever take into account is the people doing the things. The person experiencing it does not like those things happening to them. That doesn't mean the person doing them has the same feeling. This is where the argument and the rebuttals fall apart, because they cannot justify why it's wrong outside of themselves. So they make themselves the moral standard, smuggling from God, importing something that they cannot justify.
Is there something wrong with slavery, murder, and rape?
Yes, there is.
Why?
Because it sucks for the people that you're raping or enslaving or murdering.
But it might be fun for the people who are doing it. Right?
Right.
In other words, again, you're importing a moral law to criticize what the Bible says. Let's leave the Bible out of it for a second. Suppose the Bible isn't true. Right?
Okay.
What you can say is, I think the Bible's wrong morally. But what you can't say is, the Bible's wrong morally, but I don't have a standard to call it immoral. You can say that the Bible's immoral only if you have a God that says the Bible's immoral, right?
Yes.
Okay? But you can't be an atheist and say the Bible's immoral.
Because
you have no standard of morality.
Wait a sec. I'm an atheist. I can say the Bible's immoral.
Yeah, but you can't justify it because you have no standard of morality by which to say something's immoral.
Yes, I do.
What is it?
I have
That's
a standard of morality. It's not okay to kill someone or rape someone or enslave someone.
But that's just your opinion. Hitler says it is. So it's just subjective. It's your subjective opinion against Hitler's subjective opinion.
Yes, opinions are subjective.
So it's not an objective morality then. That's what you're saying. Right? Morality's not objective.
No, it's not.
Okay, so there's nothing wrong with the Nazis. There's nothing wrong with rape, slavery.
To them, there's not, but to us, there is. And it's very clear that societies that don't do that are much better off.
Better off. Again, you're importing a moral law. We can go around on this. Do you guys see what we're doing here?
Okay, we're going in circles.
We're going in circles because you don't have a standard by which to judge anything moral or immoral if you're an atheist.
Let's take a moment of silence for the silence of that atheist. That atheist, the wheels were turning in his mind. You can almost see him recognizing the self-defeated worldview that he has. You could almost see the cracks of the foundation falling apart in his mind. He knew then, he admitted that his framework is subjective. And if it is subjective, my friends, he has no ground to stand on. He has no ground to criticize the Bible because he is just giving his meaningless opinion. If he believes morality is subjective, as he admitted, then he cannot sit here and pontificate and act like he's some moral standard and the Bible is immoral. A self-defeating argument is like having a gun and the barrel is pointing at yourself, and you pull the trigger and you shoot yourself. That is the atheist framework of morality.
Because you have no standard of morality.
Wait a sec. I'm an atheist. I can say the Bible's immoral.
Yeah, but you can't justify it because you have no standard of morality by which to say something's immoral.
Yes, I do.
What is it?
I have
That's
a
what we've been
standard of
asking.
morality. It's not okay to kill someone or rape someone or enslave someone.
But that's just your opinion. Hitler says it is. So it's just subjective. It's your subjective opinion against Hitler's subjective opinion.
Yes, opinions are subjective.
So it's not an objective morality then. That's what you're saying.
They criticize the Bible and act as if they are appalled by what's happening in the Bible, but they don't have a moral ground to stand on to point their finger at the Bible. If they are truly appalled, they are making themselves the moral standard. And if they themselves are the moral standard, that means every other human being is their own moral standard, which makes morality meaningless. In order for an atheist to be consistent about his gripes against the Bible, he would have to admit that God exists and he provides the moral standard by which we judge things morally on the earth. So to truly say, I'm mad about God or I'm mad about decisions God made in the scriptures, you have to admit, you have to concede that he exists in order to justify your view of what he's doing in the Bible. And if an atheist has to admit that God exists, then there really is no atheist. It's just someone living in pure rebellion, someone that's just refusing to submit to God, someone, as the Bible says, is suppressing the truth in unrighteousness. They know God exists, as the scriptures say, but they refuse to worship him as God. They are suppressing the truth. They are looking all around, world, creation, scriptures, all these things, and they're refusing to accept him. That is essentially what people are doing. There is no such thing as atheists. They're just people who are refusing to believe the true God. They call themselves atheists. It's just another way of saying I am rebelling against God. I have not heard a coherent response to the moral argument because there is none. Any response to the moral argument outside of God is subjective, meaningless. And if you actually try to give a response, you're stealing from God to argue against God. Cannot escape our conscience. We cannot escape. We just know right from wrong. And that is because God exists. People who deny that are living in rebellion to God. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Was this one of Frank's best moments? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video, you want more content like this, do me a favor and like this video, then subscribe to my channel. I'll be back next week with another one. This is Pastor Frederick. This is About a Book. Peace.